Hi and welcome to the video dedicated to finding the probability using a deck of cards. By the end of this video, you should be able to work out different probabilities based on a standard deck. So let's take a look. A card is chosen randomly from a standard deck of cards. We want to find the probability that the card is red, the probability that it is not red, the probability that it's a club, and the probability that it's not a club, the probability that it's a 7, and the probability that it's not a 7 or an 8, the probability that it's a red ace, the probability that it's a red or an ace, and finally the probability that it's a red card that's not an ace. There's some really important words used in those questions. Things like the word not and the word or. Those kinds of words will tell us different things and different bits of information about what probability they want. So let's look at the probability of getting a red. In a standard deck of cards, half the cards are red, and that is that 26 out of 52 are red, meaning one half. The probability that they're not red means that we want to know the probability of all the black cards, which is also 26 out of 52 or one half. The probability of a club, there are 13 out of the 52 that are clubs, which we can simplify to 1 out of 4. So the probability of not getting a club is going to be all the cards that are not clubs, which is 39 out of 52, which we can simplify to 3/4. The probability of a 7. There are 4 sevens in a deck of cards, so the probability is 4 out of 52. We can simplify this to 1 out of 13. That means that there is one card out of every 13 that will be a 7. So the probability of not a 7 or an 8, well, I've already got the probabilities up there, so let's take a look at why those are the probabilities. So all the cards that are neither not a 7 or an 8. So that means that I'm looking at all 44 cards that are either an ace to a 6 or a 9, 10, jack, queen, or king. This can be simplified to 11 out of 13. Now a better way of working that out is to say that there are 8 cards that are either a 7 or an 8, and that means that there must be 44 cards that are not a 7 or an 8, because 44 and 8 will add up to a total of 52. Now we want to know the probability of getting a red ace. Well, I know that there are 4 aces in the deck and 2 of them are red. So the probability is 2 out of 52, which I can simplify to 1 out of 26. The probability of a red or an ace means that I want to look at all the cards that are either reds or aces. These are all the cards that are reds or aces. 26 of them are red, and then I've also got to include the 2 black aces. This means that I've got 28 out of a 52 chance of getting a red ace, or 7 out of 13. We want to now know the probability of getting a red card that's not an ace. Well, here are all the red cards, and here are all the red cards that are not aces. There are 24 cards in that selection, which means that there is a 6 out of 13 chance of getting a red card that is not an ace. So what should you write? Well, there were 9 questions that we worked out the probabilities of. I'd like you to write down the 9 questions, and I'd also like you to go back through the video or answer for yourself what their probabilities are. And that's it. Hopefully now you've worked out probabilities on a deck of cards, and you can take those in with you whenever you come up against questions that require probabilities of cards. Good luck.